Coming up next on Good Morning El Paso.
That's why he's on the end, and he got nasty. So you know what? You can have him.
Tremendous.
It was round two for the Republican presidential debate, and the gloves came off. We'll have your wrap-up in case you missed it.
And as expected, the State of the County address had a lot of focus on the El Paso Children's Hospital and the bankruptcy. What Judge Veronica Escobar said about saving the county hospital.
And the jury will continue its deliberation this morning in the murder trial of a woman who strangled her husband with an apron.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
Good morning, everyone. Our Storm Track weather team has issued a first alert today. We're going to see some changes in our forecast for your Thursday.
And here is a live look right now at the city from our ABC7 mountain cam, a shot that you'll find only on ABC7 because this is the only camera like this in the borderland. And you can see it's still very dark outside. Can't really tell what's happening in the skies at this point.
Making me look forward to that time change right now with that shot. Let's check in with meteorologist Crystal Clay right now. Good morning.
Good morning. I can tell you what's going on outside. Even though we can't see it, we know that we are looking right now and just those clouds starting to edge into place. And that is going to affect rain chances as we move along. Already, we're starting to tap into that potential. Now, very light green indicates some rain making it to the ground, but some not quite yet making it there. That's because the upper level moisture streams in first ahead of a storm system. Lower level moisture takes a little while to tap into. In fact, we're still a bit dry at the surface in El Paso and Las Cruces, but notice the green showing on radar. That's not actually rain making it to the ground, but it is a good sign of that storm system heading our direction, which will bring us the potential for rainier conditions midday through tonight and right through your Friday as well. El Paso right now sits at 57 degrees, the current temperature. We are partly cloudy already. In Las Cruces, 51 the temperature. Relative humidity now at 60%, a bit higher than it was about an hour ago. And I do expect that unlike the last few days, our relative humidity will stay a bit higher right on through the afternoon too. That's when we start to tap into our rain chances. We're going to track that with your future track model just a few minutes from now.
All right, thanks so much, Crystal.
And now we want to get to your headlines this morning. Of course, before we get started, I'm Stephanie Valle. Thanks for watching.
And I'm Hillary Floren. And now to those headlines. One person is dead on a serious note after a crash that happened in Las Cruces. Now, according to the New Mexico Department of Transportation, the crash happened around 8 o'clock last night near mile marker 134. You can see on this map here. New Mexico State Police were on the scene. Traffic had to be diverted through Picacho to Motel Boulevard. Both lanes, though, were reopened just after 2 a.m. this morning, so that area now open for your morning commute. No further details about what happened have been released.
Round three for the Republican presidential candidates was a spirited debate. The 10 candidates on stage for the main debate launched fierce attacks on each other and even the moderators. ABC's Valle brings us the highlights. It's your voice, your vote.
Folks, we got to wake up.
Right from the start, the frontrunners, Donald Trump and Ben Carson, come under attack.
We are on the verge, perhaps, of picking someone who cannot do this job.
Then a classic Trump counterpunch against Ohio Governor John Kasich.
But then his poll numbers tanked. That's why he's on the end, and he got nasty. So you know what? You can have him.
The real estate mogul further blasting Kasich for his ties to failed Wall Street firm Lehman Brothers. And another sparring match as Jeb Bush goes after first-term Senator Marco Rubio for missing Senate votes to campaign.
When you signed up for this was a 6-year term. And you should be showing up to work.
Someone has convinced you that attacking me is going to help you.
Rubio defended his voting record with a comparison to John McCain and others who missed votes during presidential campaigns. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie drew applause for his slam on a question about regulating betting for fantasy football.
We have $19 trillion in debt. We have people out of work. We have ISIS and Al-Qaeda attacking us. And we're talking about fantasy football? Can we stop?
As the candidates battled over their records and tax plans, they found agreement on one thing. Ted Cruz vents their shared frustration with the moderators.
This is not a cage match. How about talking about the substantive issues people care about?
Republican Party leaders are bashing the moderators for questions they claim were aimed at stirring up those fighting matches on the stage and not focused on policy. Valle, ABC News, Washington.
And now to your voice, your vote coverage here in the borderland. If you want to cast your ballot for the November election early, you only have 2 more days to do it. Early voting ends tomorrow. If you don't make it out to a voting location by then, you'll have to wait until Election Day, which is Tuesday, November 3rd. The El Paso County Courthouse will have extended hours for voters today and Friday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
County Judge Veronica Escobar delivered her 5th State of the County address, and as expected, the 20-month-long battle between bankrupt El Paso Children's Hospital and UMC was a big part of it. Escobar said the county will not regret helping save children's, saying it's the only dedicated pediatric hospital within 200 miles and a partner to the Texas Tech Med School with $11 million in annual contracts. She praised specialists who have kept El Paso children in need of medical care here in El Paso. The judge says a hardworking board and CEO can get the hospital to break even and not be a burden on the taxpayer.
There will be no interruption in service. The 400 jobs stay intact. The doctors stay in El Paso. The medical school keeps a key partner, and our families maintain access to an outstanding source of health care in a region that badly needs it.
And coming up later on Good Morning El Paso, we will hear more details about the county's economic development. You can also catch the entire State of the County address over at our website, KVIA.com.
The jury deciding the fate of Martha Acevedo will continue its deliberations this morning. Yesterday, the jury convicted her of strangling her husband Jose with an apron. During closing arguments, the jury heard from the victim's brother, who described Martha as a good woman. Also taking the stand, 2 grandsons the Acevedos helped raise. Ruben and Ricky, a Fort Bliss soldier, said Martha was a good woman and that the couple did everything for them. The 62-year-old faces 5 years to life in prison. Deliberations continue at 8 a.m. Meanwhile, a sentencing has been scheduled for the man who hit and killed a woman. Lorenzo Pacheco pleaded guilty to accident involving death and tampering with evidence. Pacheco drove off after running over 20-year-old Stephanie Nicole Avelar in Fabens in December 2013. Sheriff's investigators say he also fixed the truck to cover up the damage from the crash.
And now let's take a live look at traffic. This is I-10 and Zaragoza that you're looking at right now. I-10 and Lee Trevino, a pretty quiet shot there, but don't let that fool you because there are a lot of vehicles out there right now. No trouble, though. And new this morning, if you're on the hunt for that last-minute costume, and yes, it is last minute right now, you have probably come across plenty of sexy and skimpy options. If that's not what you're looking for, one business owner says she's the woman who can help you. Good Morning El Paso's Denise Olivas is live with her story. Denise.
Good morning, Hillary. And it seems like every year the costumes are getting smaller and skimpier, right? Of course, that's not for everyone, leaving many trying to cover up instead. And all it takes is one search online and you'll find hundreds of costumes with short hemlines and plunging necklines. And you'll likely find the same at seasonal costume shops around town. And get this, even Donald Trump's signature look has a sexy version. Well, at Timeless Fashions in Central El Paso, owner Danielle Alvarez Boni specializes in ethnic and period costumes that she says don't show too much skin.
Some of the Renaissance things, the pirate costumes, those can be kind of sexy, but covered. My gypsy costumes, even those, you can do a little off the shoulder and show a little leg and, not have to show too much and still get the point across. Sometimes what we leave to the imagination is better than showing everything we have, right?
Timeless Fashions is located at 2120 Montana Avenue. Alvarez Boni says that her costumes range from $25 to $100. And in our next half hour, she talks about why business has been a little slower this year. Stephanie, back to you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Denise. And we have much more to come here on Good Morning El Paso.
It was a much different Game 2 in the World Series last night. We'll have the highlights.
Plus, drought is just one of the factors wildfires have become larger in the state of Texas, a reason for that, and we'll explain more.
And coming up, another reason to wear a warmer costume. Meteorologist Crystal Clyde's got that forecast. Good morning.
Good morning, and that is an excellent point because we're under a first alert. One of the reasons, cooler temps. We'll check the numbers coming up.
Thanks, Crystal. This is ABC 7, where news comes first.